Hi, DJ with SoundApproach.com. We're here at the Florida International Hi-Fi Show, and today we are blessed to have one of the greatest storytellers with one of the greatest brands that we sell on our e-commerce platform. So, thank you for sharing time.
Yeah.
I was talking about flipping our studio, our demo room, from the products we have now to Electrocompaniet products. And I mentioned that we had a pair of Nautilus speakers on demo, $31,000 a pair. They're expensive, that we use for people to listen to. And you told me a story that was absolutely incredible. I'd like to hear that story again.
Okay, I'll be more than happy to do it again. Back in the day when the Bose & Wilkins designed the Nautilus, Lawrence Dickey designed them, the current CEO of Vivid Audio. And you've seen his speakers, he's very artistically designed speakers. And he was he worked for Bose & Wilkins, and he designed the Nautilus speakers. When the Nautilus were done, they placed a couple of them in Abbey Road Studios in London because they are sort of the de facto supplier of speakers into Abbey Road Studios. But they couldn't find a good amplifier to drive them. They needed something very powerful, and they looked around, and one of the engineers working in the Abbey Road Studio was a Norwegian guy. And he said, you know what, why don't you call Electrocompaniet, see if they got something, because they make some big amps and stuff. Yeah, sure. So they gave them a call and said, sure, we'll send you over the monoblocks that we have, which was the AW800, was 180 watt monoblock amplifiers that we made. They tried them out and said, well, they're okay, but we need something with even more power. So they took two of those and they bridged them inside one cabinet and they sent them over, and they loved it, and they used it for years in the studio with this. And this is why that amplifier is called the AW800 NEMO, because if you know the story, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Captain Nemo drives the Nautilus. So that's where the name comes from.
That's how that story was. That is absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm sure B&W is not going to tell that story.
I don't know. I haven't spoken to them about it, so I don't know.
But from there, you evolved that amplifier concept to something that you have today that is so incredibly unique. Is it?
It's this one.
These.
This is called the AW800. So it's an 800 watt monoblock amplifier. It has a little brother called the AW300, which is just one of the amplifiers in one cabinet. So you can either have them separate or you can have them built into one cabinet. And they're bridged inside. 800 watts, the specs are just off the charts. You can have a look at the specifications. It's really, really good, and for its price, it's just a fabulous product. But we've also built into this one that you can use it as a stereo amplifier. As there are two amplifiers inside that are bridged, you can use them individually if you want to as a stereo setup, and then you can switch over and you can use it in monoblock mode. And all the connections and all you need to make that work are built into the amplifier.
So I'm curious, in your manufacturers, you have access to so many manufacturers of electronics. Do you ever buy other competing products and stage them? You don't. You don't even worry about that.
No, I don't worry much about other people. I worry about us to make the best product available. We use our own listening session with our own speakers, our own engineers that make and design everything. And they spend most of their time listening more than they do engineering.
Wow.
And they are a little bit disagreed, and then we have a couple of beers and have a listening session, and we agree. So it took them 3 years to develop this amplifier.
3 years?
3 years. I mean, and it's really, if you look at the reviews from Stereophile and from all over the world, it's just get top-notch. One reviewer in Australia said, if you can't afford it, don't listen to it. Because you will regret it for the rest of your life, which I think was a very nice comment when it comes to these amplifiers. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the story very much, and thank you so much for sharing. We're going to put this online, and Norway will be in love with you.
Thank you.
Thanks.